to Silas, a channel of horror and the history of dark civilizations. In my village, there was a wealthy man named Mr. Hendra. Besides owning a basic goods store, Mr. Hendra was also a rubber sap middleman. He would buy sap from the farmers and sell it to a factory in the city. Mr. Hendra had 3 sons. His wife was not originally from our village. According to my mother, Mr. Hendra used to be as poor as everyone else in the village. In fact, his parents' house was located right across from my grandfather's house, only separated by a field where children played soccer or volleyball every afternoon. The goalposts and net were removable. I still remember spraining my ankle playing there once. Mr. Hendra had many siblings, around 7 or 8. His parents owned a small rubber plantation, which was divided among the children. Naturally, Mr. Hendra only received a small portion, not nearly enough to support his family. In fact, due to financial struggles, Mr. Hendra worked as a laborer in other people's rubber plantations. The strangeness began when Mr. Hendra and his wife disappeared for about a month. Their children were left in the care of his elderly parents. The eldest child looked after his younger siblings and handled house chores like cooking and washing. It seemed their departure had been carefully planned, as all basic necessities like rice and cooking oil had already been provided. Before that short disappearance, Mr. Hendra and his wife had been devout Muslims, attending mosque and prayer meetings regularly. Their children too. But after they returned to the village, something changed in their behavior. They, who once diligently prayed at the mosque, gradually reduced their visits, attending only Friday prayers. Eventually, they only showed up twice a year, on Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Suddenly, Mr. Hendra took up fishing at night and went to the rubber plantation after selling his catch at the market in the morning. Then he would sleep through the afternoon. This pattern continued for months. Since then, their family's economy started to improve. People assumed it was because he had added fishing to his income. Strangely, despite the modest returns from fishing, Mr. Hendra managed to buy land and build a shop on the main road within a year. It didn't make sense, yet it happened. Once the shop was completed, Mr. Hendra started selling groceries. It was immediately filled with various goods. For a village store, it was impressively stocked. His business flourished rapidly. Mr. Hendra began buying up rubber plantations. Anyone in a financial bind who needed to sell their land would find him a willing and ready buyer. He built a new house, but his father refused to move in with him, choosing instead to stay in the old house. Every morning and evening, Mr. Hendra's wife or children would deliver food and drink to him. Many villagers asked why he wouldn't move in with his son. His answer was odd. "No thanks, I have my own house. Hendra and his wife have a fussy baby who cries all night for milk. I can't sleep." Hendra also often goes out at night with his friend, coming back saying he got money. "What is he doing, robbing people?" "Scares me, I'll stay here," he said. People dismissed it as the rambling of an old, senile man, but someone else shared a similar story. A traveling ice cream vendor once stopped in front of Mr. Hendra's shop when his children came out to buy. He was startled and uttered "Astaghfirullah" when he saw Mr. Hendra's wife inside. "Why is she nursing a baby monkey?" Lots of people have pets, but if you're going to feed them, just give them regular milk. Not breastfeed them, the vendor reportedly told some villagers. This rumor quietly spread, though no one confronted the family. Once, a man from Java came to the village to visit a sick relative. The man was said to be a healer. He was sitting on the terrace when Mr. Hendra and his wife rode past on a motorcycle. "God forgive me. Why are monkeys here so big? They can even ride motorcycles," said the man. His family was shocked. "Where?" He pointed at Mr. Hendra, who was almost out of sight. "That's Mr. Hendra and his wife." "Why do you say monkey?" they asked. "Seriously, that was a giant monkey on that motorcycle," he insisted. The news spread like wildfire, but no one dared say anything to Mr. Hendra. Later, some villagers claimed to have seen 2 large monkeys sitting in front of the shop at night. His wife's breasts grew unusually large, clearly visible under tight clothing, like a nursing mother's, but her children were already in school. There was no reason for her to still be lactating. The rumor that Mr. Hendra was involved in a monkey spirit pact, known as Pesugihan Manyat, spread. People believed that was the source of his wealth, and that he would never dare go to Mecca for pilgrimage with such tainted riches. Eventually, the rumor reached Mr. Hendra and his family, including his children. People openly challenged him, saying he wouldn't dare perform the Hajj. Offended, Mr. Hendra and his wife paid for a premium Hajj package that year for a departure. 1 or 2 years later, news of this spread quickly. Villagers were curious what would happen to him in Mecca, especially since his father refused to join them. His answer made people uneasy. "I won't go on a pilgrimage with dirty money." Hendra and his wife keep a monkey. That's why they went to Java. What if I turn into a monkey in Mecca? He said. The day came. Mr. Hendra went to Hajj with several others from the village, most of whom had saved for years from farming. As is customary, he held a prayer gathering for safety before leaving. During this event, many heard the sound of monkeys chattering from inside the shop and the back of Mr. Hendra's house, but they pretended not to hear. While they were in Mecca, there was no news, until they returned bringing shocking stories. They didn't complete all stages of the Hajj, only a few, someone whispered. Apparently, Mr. Hendra started acting strangely. In the hotel, he suddenly screamed and ran to the lobby, shouting about fear and heat. When questioned by the pilgrimage leader, he said, "There's a large black creature in the room. It's angry. It tried to strangle and hit me. It said I'm unclean, defiling Allah's house." Every time Mr. Hendra joined group prayers, he claimed to be chased by this creature. One morning, he tried to enter the mosque, but was thrown back violently as if pushed by something invisible. People helped him up, but it happened again. His wife also experienced terrifying things. "At the Kaaba," she said. "Where is the Kaaba? I haven't seen it since we got here. I thought we were praying in front of it." "It's right there, just a few meters ahead," someone replied. "I don't see it," she said. Apparently, she never saw the Kaaba during the entire pilgrimage, as if Allah had veiled her eyes. Every time she left the hotel or returned, she would run screaming about being chased by dogs, but no one else saw any. The worst was before Wukuf at Arafat. As the group prepared to leave the hotel, Mr. Hendra and his wife couldn't go. Their bodies were suddenly covered in fur-like monkeys. Their group leader sobbed and begged them to repent. In the end, they couldn't complete the Hajj. Strangely, just hours before returning to Indonesia, their condition returned to normal. Upon arrival, Mr. Hendra hosted a Thanksgiving event. He invited the whole village and handed out souvenirs from Mecca, but villagers kept whispering about what they'd heard from the Hajj. They became convinced that Mr. Hendra had indeed made a pact with a monkey spirit. But curiously, the pact required no human sacrifice. His 3 sons were all healthy and had families of their own. They inherited his plantations. That changed when Mr. Hendra suddenly died in a rubber plantation. He was there with his youngest son, marking boundary lines. Suddenly, he had a severe headache and collapsed. His son tried to carry him to a hut while yelling for help, but no one heard. Eventually, villagers arrived and found Mr. Hendra already dead, surrounded by monkeys. His body was covered in fur like a monkey. The village was shocked. There had been no illness, no warning, just death. Many villagers helped bury him. Some testified that his body had monkey-like fur. At the cemetery, monkey howls echoed from nearby trees. The burial went smoothly. But 2 days later, news broke. A group of youths looking for bird nests near the cemetery found Mr. Hendra's grave dug up. The villagers rushed over. His grave was in disarray. The burial boards were thrown aside. His shroud was torn. Chillingly, the body appeared clawed and shredded, as if by a beast. The earth looked like it had been dug with claws. The villagers reburied him. His children were ashamed. People wouldn't stop talking. Many connected it to the pact. During the 7-night prayer ritual at his home, people reported seeing a tall, black, hairy creature on the roof and in the backyard. Even young men paid to guard the house said they saw a large, monkey-like figure with Mr. Hendra's face. On the 7th night, during the Yasin recitation, a loud explosion came from one of the rooms. People panicked. Then came scratching and growling sounds at the door. Grarar. The Yasin recitation grew louder in fear. Another explosion. The house trembled. Doug, Doug! The door was pounded. People fled the room in terror. Don't be afraid, someone said. We're here to pray and support the grieving family. Silence. The growling and scratching continued, but they resumed the prayer shakily. Eventually the sounds faded. After that, people avoided Mr. Hendra's grocery store, now run by his eldest son. Fear lingered. Soon the shop went out of business. His sons lived off the inherited plantations. None tried to revive the business or start their own. Mr. Hendra's wife lived long into her 70s. Her breasts remained unusually large. When she passed away, nothing strange happened. Her funeral and prayer rituals went smoothly. Her grave remained undisturbed. Perhaps she had repented. Now, Mr. Hendra's descendants live quietly as farmers. As far as I know, there's been nothing strange about them. The end.